guest is a filmmaker and director, Jane McAllister. I have seen this film and there was not a dry eye in the Glasgow Film Theatre. If anyone has seen this heartwarmingly beautiful film, you'll understand the passion for independence that Jane has. I saw it at a packed out theatre and it was beautiful. To see ourselves is a fascinating snapshot of grassroots activism during the 2014 referendum campaign. Please welcome Jane McAllister.
Thanks. I'm a bit nervous, sorry, I've never spoken like this. I filmed the lead up to the 2014 independence referendum through the perspective of my family in Musselburgh in East Lothian, and I didn't really mean to make the film. It was fairly tricky. I was actually heavily pregnant at the time, and I wouldn't recommend anyone make a documentary like that. It was full on, and yeah, I couldn't get any funding, so it's taken me 10 years to get to this point, and I've been touring around Scotland with the film, and it's just been marvellous to speak to people and hear the feedback and share the story. My dad I was filming my dad, and he initially asked me to film some of the meetings that he'd set up for YouTube, and I just was going to help out because I hadn't picked up the camera in a long time, and I got into these meetings and I had a radio mic on my dad, and it wasn't really the speeches at the meetings, as good as they were. I was already on board. The thing that I was interested in was zooming into these conversations that he was having with activists on both sides, and the passion and the fluency that people were speaking and articulating these discussions. And I thought, this is so interesting and important, and it felt like maybe history was happening, and I actually really felt like I was filming the rebirth of a nation. I don't want to spoil the ending of the film, but I couldn't make it happy. Oh, yeah, there's sadness, but actually going round and sharing this story, what I've found is people find the film completely uplifting, because what it is a record of what we all know happened in the summer of 2014, which was the sheer embodiment of hope and joy, and it happened here in George Square, and people were dancing and singing and coming together and believing in a better future. And that's what I hope that I recorded in the film. It wasn't the divisive referendum that some people would like us to believe. It was totally energised. Everyone had an opinion. No matter what your opinion was, you were expected to have it, and you expected to speak it. And as a filmmaker, that was amazing, because I would just go out with my camera onto the street and people would come up and they would talk about the economy, they would talk about currency, about pensions, about nuclear weapons, and yeah, it was just marvellous. And I think it was a time that we should be proud of. And my worry is that people who believe in the Union don't want us to be proud of that peaceful movement for change in 2014, and they don't want us to be proud of our civic nationalism as opposed to ethnic nationalism. And they don't want us to be proud of our moral cause, our socialist values, and our distinct Scottish culture. And the reason they don't want us to be proud is because when we're proud, we're confident, and we know where that's going to lead. So maybe that's why there were so many roadblocks to this film getting out. But yeah, it's called To See Yourselves, and I think that's what it does. It holds a mirror up to society, and that's what culture and art should do. It helps us understand ourselves. And the thing that observational documentary can do, that this is not talking heads, this is people on the street, it's natural action happening, and what it does is what news reporting can't do and what social media can't do, it brings empathy into the debate, and you know, one of the best pieces of feedback I got was in the screening in Cromarty, where an Englishman said to me, he moved up 3 years ago with his family, and he said, I never understood the desire for independence, and now watching a film I do. And that's all it is, it's just understanding. He's maybe not going to vote for it, but he understands our movement and the emotions behind it. So, I mean, I certainly would like to see a documentary from the other side. I would like to understand that. I think all these stories should be supported. But I will say, you know, this film was actually managed to come out through a number of things. It was support from my family, first of all, and many friends who watched many edits and gave me the support, and people like Pat Kane and Leslie Riddoch who watched cuts and gave me the backing that I needed emotionally. And then there was a crowdfunder which a year ago this week we launched, and it was strangers, people I didn't know, put their hands in their pockets and gave me money to help finish the film. So if anyone here did that, thank you so much. You made this happen, and it made me realise actually the big lesson of this whole project was that you have to just do it yourself. You can't really rely on the institutions or the committees or the people that follow rules. You just have to get out there, and I'm just so grateful that people supported me in that. And to that end, we hope that you will help us distribute this film further. So we're releasing it now to groups to screen and take it into your communities. And actually this weekend I've released the film for free. It's online, and you'll see there's a QR code here. There's another one somewhere. If you scan it, you can watch the film tonight or tomorrow. Check it out, and then there's links on that QR code where you can connect with us, and we can help you work your way of showing this film. So I hope you enjoy it. You might cry, but I promise you'll laugh as well. It's your story too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jane. We hope everybody's having a fantastic afternoon.